I love to read a book and be absorbed in words to escape the... Hi everyone, I'm visiting Lesley today. Something we were discussing was comfort reads and our own experiences with picking up and rereading books that offer us comfort or bring us some joy or some relief or alleviate some stress if need be. And yeah, we're just discussing which books we prefer for that kind of purpose, and thought we'd discuss them with you and open it up to you guys, and you guys can share your comfort reads, or indeed comfort watches, because we've been talking about films and TV that do the same thing for us as well. So.
There seem to be many comfort watches.
Yes, comfort watches may be, I guess, are more accessible and they're a quicker fix probably than picking up a book. The Anne of Green Gables, the first 3 books in the Anne of Green Gables series, especially during my teens, were always a comfort read for myself, particularly when I was sick. And I still like to turn to them if I'm feeling a bit down and give just chapters, especially in the second one, because it's a lot of vignettes, so they kind of, you can just read them as individual little stories, and they always make me smile. Lesley has a very particular book that's her comfort read.
It's basically my only comfort read, and it's the one that's been with me longest. So since I'm so familiar with it, it's instant comfort because I just know the story so well, so I could potentially just pick up anywhere and know what was going on. Little Women, Louisa May Alcott. Those of you who are familiar with my channel know that I really enjoy this book and have enjoyed it for many a year now. Say probably about 15 years since I first read this, and I love it, and it's good. And this particular tiny little edition was actually one that I used to carry around in my handbag for the longest time, so if I needed a little fix, it was there for me.
That's adorable, and that linked us to kind of going to, you called it a safety read as well.
Yep.
And because you could carry it around with you, and I find that a lot of my anthologies are sort of safety reads for me. If I'm not feeling like I can necessarily pick up one of the novels I'm reading at the moment and take it with me if I'm going out and about, I can pick up pretty much any of my fairy tale or mythology anthologies because I won't typically read them cover to cover. I'll read stories haphazardly, whichever concept or whichever author strikes me at the time, so they'll always be stories I haven't encountered, so that means that there's always something new to discover, and it's a short story format, so I don't have to commit as much time, and it's easier if I'm on the go as well, I think, to have the anthologies there. Little Women is certainly a bit of a comfort read for me too. When I was a child, the Babysitters Club certainly were comfort reads.
I used to read several Babysitters Club books in a day as a child. Didn't matter if it was school holidays or a school day, I would still be, like, I could read like 2 or 3 after school.
Yep.
Like I would just plow through them.
Yep.
They were pretty great.
Yeah. I certainly had my favourites. I owned over 100, and I had maybe a solid 5 that were my absolute favourites that were like worn to pieces because I'd just go back and read them.
I think it's like only the first 70 or 80 are actually written by Anne M. Martin.
Yeah.
Started being ghost written.
Yeah.
They were coming out like, was it like once a month?
It had to have been because intense.
Anyone who wasn't a child of the 90s doesn't know how big a deal Babysitters Club was. But
I pity people who don't know, who missed the BSC hype.
It was crazy. They were everywhere, and there was all kinds of merch, like the amount of merch that you see for things like Harry Potter and Twilight and One Direction and whatever else is apparently trendy
happening with the kids.
Like the Babysitters Club, like that crap was everywhere.
I don't know about you, but I used to get really sad because you'd have the Scholastic edition, so there were the American versions, and in the back you'd be able to send away to get all the merchandise if you were in America or Canada.
Yep.
No calendars or postcards or anything for us.
I actually went to the States during the Babysitters Club hype, and I think it was at a Toys R Us, I think it was like Anaheim maybe, and oh damn, there was like an aisle of Babysitters Club merch. It was intense, and I got a giant, and by giant I mean like about this tall, Stacey doll.
Oh my god!
And I loved it, and it was the best.
Was she fashionable? Did she have accessories?
She had, I think she had like a little bracelet and a necklace and stuff, and she was wearing like little purple ankle boots and like a pink like little flared mini skirt and like a buttoned up floral shirt, and she was adorable, and I loved her so much. I wanted everything, and if I could have fit stuff in my suitcase, I'm pretty sure my mum would have indulged me, because she could just see the excitement happening.
I don't know if I've ever wanted a TARDIS more than to go back in time and join you on that trip, because I would buy a Dawn, and Dawn would be wearing like a Save the Planet t-shirt, and it would be it would be amazing.
Maybe some tie-dye,
and like her accessories could be like, I don't know, a Hessian bag or something, and
like a dolphin necklace or something.
Yeah.
I remember the flight home from that trip. It was like a nighttime flight, and it was pretty empty, and I had my doll like not in my baggage, like I was carrying her, and because there was like not that many people on the flight, I was allowed to go back a few rows where there was no one there and like lift up the armrests and lay down with like a blanket, and I had Stacey with me, and it was just, I felt like really grown up because I was by myself, and also like I had Stacey, and it was just the best.
And she was the most mature of the BSC. She was a sophisticated New Yorker.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. Do you still have your Stacey doll?
I don't know. It's possible that it's at Mum's place.
Okay. If you ever find it, I really
I at
want to
least
see it.
have photos for sure.
Excellent.
Oh, fine.
I want to see them. That went on a tangent.
Wow.
But what a great tangent. Just to add on to the BSC discussion, I do own the complete guide, which came with information about all the BSC members, all of their families, and every single family they babysat for, and a complete map of Storybrooke.
Damn.
Yep. Quickly, a shout out to Comfort Watches. Certainly my go-to comfort watch in terms of a film would be Ever After with Drew Barrymore. I know it off by heart, inside out, and I just find it a lot of fun. And also probably the first of the Anne of Green Gables films as well would be a comfort watch. And television-wise, certainly The Vicar of Dibley and Gilmore Girls, because again with Gilmore Girls I know them backwards, so even if I don't need to actually physically put them on and watch them, I can play them in my mind and feel better if I'm having a bad day. And you've got a few TV comfort watches.
I think my current TV comfort watches are things that me and my boyfriend Morgan watch a lot. So Frasier, the entire series of Frasier we've seen so many times because we just put it on in the background. Jeeves and Wooster, the Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie TV series, we've seen a lot, and that gets put on. West Wing, especially the first few seasons.
I love that because it's political drama.
But it's so good. It's so good. I can't even. Oh my god. For movies, if I'm watching stuff by myself, I normally aim for sort of something light and fluffy.
Yeah.
So like the 90s adaptation of Little Women is a huge favourite. It's just, it's good, and I love the cast for that. So it just it makes me feel better every time. If I'm sick in bed, that's a good one to put on. Things like Sleepless in Seattle is nice and comforting, and they're the kind of movies that you've seen so many times that you know all of the musical cues.
Yep.
And like you'll know when a song's about to start, and you know the lyrics to that just tiny chunk of song.
Yep.
Bridget Diary is another.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good nighttime comfort watch. BJ's Diary, I think.
Things like Clueless and 10 Things I Hate About You.
What are your comfort reads and comfort watches? And do you have any safety reads that you know you can pick up and carry around with you if need be? Especially if you're going out.
What defines a comforting read or a comforting watch for you? Is it something just that you're super familiar with and it doesn't really matter what's going on in it, just something that you know really well so you don't have to think about it? Or is it something with a particular tone? Like, does it have to be sort of light and fuzzy and that kind of comforting? Or can you be like me and watch West Wing and feel just super calm and relaxed about it?
Is it that it necessarily has the qualities that will enhance a mood quickly and readily? Yeah, let us know what your picks are for comfort reads and watches.
We should probably just do a separate video of us ranting about the Babysitters Club. Just the 90s in general.
Yep, that's gonna happen. Well, thank you, Lesley, for joining me.
You are welcome.
Bye, everyone.
You can always count on me, and I can count on you.
I was so coherent.
The familiarity for words and
Ideas.
forming and putting into sentences.
Rubbish.
Yep. There was a truck.
Ta-da!
Ta-dum-dum-dum.